music was the creative juice of the moment.
Oh,
You
come
know,
on.
I smoked weed that day. True story.
I don't even have to do introduction. You understand? I know at least a large number of us already know the gentleman I have sitting by my left hand side. Ladies and gentlemen, his name is Iyke.
Nice to meet you.
Guys, you know it's our tradition here. We encourage you to ask your questions. You know, please, but let's be very, very civil about it. You know, don't insult and everything. Let peace reign amongst all of us. So please, send in your questions. Call your friends, your mom, your dad. Call your mom and all her friends. You understand? Those that have wanted to ask Jim a couple of questions for so long, this is the time. This is the moment for you to do so. So please join. Jim, thank you very much for joining us on our show today. So the first question I want to ask, just the everyday actor.
Yes, sir.
You understand? Everybody has seen, I don't want to say everybody, but a large number of us literally grew up with you in the, from the time you started to who you are at this point. But one thing I want to know about is you're pretty much of a very strong entrepreneur.
Yes, sir.
You understand? Why didn't you just decide to focus only on acting and, just keep enjoying the fame and the money that comes with being a famous actor? Why did you decide to set up a large number of these? I can't count them. I was in Abuja for a while, so I know the water, Bodrian. Am I saying it right?
Yes, Bodrian.
Bodrian, yes. Now, what happened? Why did you decide to be that much of an entrepreneur? Let me use the word.
I'm a man from the East primarily. I'm an Igbo man. That there sets the tune to many questions. I grew up among merchants, among businessmen, the old uncle or aunt, or even my mom. My mom was an extraordinary businesswoman. Okay. She had amazing instincts. My dad wasn't a very good businessman. He was more of an intellectual. Okay. So he got the salaries and passed it to the woman that knew how to invest. Okay. So that's the kind of home I grew up in. It was always a question of what is the next entrepreneur pursuit someone was going to go into. I started with really expensive taste early in life, and I knew that I had to find a way to so as soon as I'm leaving home and they hand you your 15 or 20 grand, I knew I was going to spend it on clothes. Okay. So I had to think I had to be fast on the uptake as to what next I was going to do to make money. School shows came, selling fake t-shirts and all that stuff. School was coming up. So it was always that drive, that pursuit. Uncles that were barely not in school but grew empires all by themselves. Seriously, I have 2 or 3 uncles. One is a major dealer in wood, another one is a major dealer in rice. And these are guys that barely finished primary school, but their instincts and their business acumen, it's Harvard status. Okay. So it's a born instinct, it's a pursuit that we're born with. And in time, I understood the simple philosophy that eggs cannot be put in one basket. Yeah. Okay, so years ago, I think I was in my early 20s when RMD was having this master class about acting, and I was barely 2 years in the industry, and it struck a very strong chord with me when he said, like, no actor, no matter, even if you're earning 8 figures, can survive on his takings alone. And I started to seek other ways out, and also started to find ways to. I majored in banking and finance and philosophy, and psychology. So I have a background in finance already, and I started thinking of ways outside the box. I started with collaborations with my family. My dad and I own a couple of businesses. My brothers-in-law, we both own a couple of businesses. I have friends that, if you're my life, we're doing business. If we're not doing business, there's really no point in being my life. Really, if we're not making money together, please excuse me.
Now you talked about your time as a producer, as a director, and as an actor.
Yes, sir.
Do you understand? Okay, the question I want to ask is it might seem funny, but making it in Nollywood, is it hard? Now, I asked this question because we have a large number of actors now. Anywhere you turn, is either you're a musician or you're an actor.
Yes.
People go to school, once they get a degree, they enter Nollywood immediately. So everyone around calls themselves an actor. So I'm asking you, as a veteran in the industry, what does it take to be identified as an actor? Before you can raise your shoulders up.
There's a propensity to it.
Okay.
It's not waned in over its years of existence. There's a platform called Nollywood.
Okay.
We happen to be in an industry, or rather in an economy, where it's not been exactly very kind to its youth. So that leaves very narrow options as to how to make ends meet. Then we have to that deal with the bare essentials and move on with how we can, we're all saddled with different responsibilities here and there. Entertainment seemed the only viable option for now. Our government are not doing what they should be doing to keep the youth gainfully employed and engaged in different, space of areas of engagements. So for that reason, I think that's why everybody, the appeal of Nollywood, of music and other arts seem to be the only way out for the youth. The other, and I think we should be thankful for it,
Okay.
because the other option would have been crime, and that's the truth of the matter. So little messes count, and I don't care if there's an influence, there's an overload or overwhelming.
Let them keep
odds.
coming.
Let them.
You made mention of something earlier, and it struck a chord in me. You said as an actor, you can't just sit on the same spot. You have to actually look for
Yes.
other ways. So is this why you, Genevieve or Motola, all decided to delve into music?
Music was the creative juice of the moment.
Oh, come on.
I smoked weed that day. True story. I smoked a little bit of weed. Weed doesn't agree with my general mental configuration. I'm hyper already.
Okay.
I have, my mom has got this super energy all around her.
Okay.
My dad is an extremely quiet man. He can be in a room for hours on end. He's a thinker by nature. I took both sides.
Okay.
Now, I've done a lot of foolish things and on account of people daring me. You can't dare me. I stopped it about maybe 6 years. My last day was doing the bungee jump last year.
Okay.
The bungee jump where I do 131 meters.
Okay.
I woke up and said, that is a thoroughly stupid thing to do. Don't ever do. You have a son now, don't do it again. But, well, that day I was hanging around Two Face and Co. And we're busting rhymes here and there. A little weed is being smoked. And they say, yo, it's time for you to put out an album. And all of a sudden, you're riding high on certain successes. You just beat your greatest limitation, which is people telling you can't do this. And then when we woke up one day, you're probably one of the most recognizable faces on the continent. Then you think you're invincible.
Oh, wow.
They can do anything. Okay. And then it's only music, I'll conquer it. And then you dive in and you find yourself stuttering in the booth.
Okay.
But you can't come out now because you got guts and you're embarrassed.
Okay.
So you say, you know what, churn it out like that. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. Okay. So you cut your first check. But I'm also smart enough to know I'm not going back.
So music is not
end of story.
Movies anymore like you used to. What's going on?
Well, truthfully, sir, I'm not just trying to sound a certain fashion. Not everybody can afford me. I said, well, there's no, without sounding modest, I have paid thoroughly through blood, sweat, and tears my dues. So I set a certain fee at a certain time and a certain standard and a certain pace. I'm a man that wakes up and think of salaries to pay, think of a son to raise, think of what my next level in life. I'm at the age where I should be doing certain things in life, which is opening doors, providing, and ensuring that I'm going from riches to wealth. It's not easy part to be. That is that part where, trust me, a lot engages your mind. That is the time you wake up 5 a.m. every morning for no just reason. You just wake up like something woke me up. I know that I don't have money worries, but okay, something woke me up. But it has to be, and it's that time of my life. So, having said that, it just so happens that now you've carefully separated the pros from the mediocres, and it's just not anybody that will approach you at that point in time. So anybody that approaches you has to come correct. The script has to be on point, your preparation has to be on point, the money has to be on point. Of course, I say it and I do not mince word, no tongue in cheek. The money is like the fifth of my consideration every time I get on set. Okay, it's the fifth.
Okay, so run us through the list.
The first has to be the script.
Okay.
It has to be well written. There's so many terrible jobs. And I'll tell you something again, my history is fraught with so many terrible jobs. There are jobs that I'll pay producers now to bury. I will pay you. Say, please, stop embarrassing me. My son is going to be on the internet in the next 3 years. Okay. I don't want to bring back and say, really, that was you, Dad? So the script has to be on point. I've seen many fantastic scripts get lost in translation. Okay. And it's either because the resources were not there or the professionalism was not there. So I insist on who is directing, how professional you are, what's your experience, what do you know. I'll school you to, being a director myself, after 5 minutes of a candid conversation with you, I know if you're up to it or not. Okay, and then thirdly, the team. I've also seen scripts that are well funded, well scripted, but the crew are terrible. They're just lackadaisical. They lack passion. They don't like drive. They hate criticism. They think it's a holiday venture.
Oh, okay.
These are people that want to escape their girlfriends, side chicks, or wives, and they just want somewhere they can chill out and ball out. Please don't hire those people. You need somebody every day is on that set. He wants to finish and get out. Okay, so those people can waste your time. I'm on the clock now. Every day of my life, every hour of my life has to be productive. From when I sleep to when I wake up. So if I find anybody wasting my time for any reason other than the passion that is driving us or the pursuit that brought us together, I don't want him in my space. Okay, so that is the third consideration. The fourth, of course, is my present time again, that must be managed by me. Okay, there are precedents. There are things that at that time, what am I doing? Will this infringe on what I'm doing at the moment? I've been at that point in my life where I wanted to take on everything. I thought I was Zeus. I've worn myself down. I've been at a point where I could not get out of bed because of exhaustion. I made 39 films 1 year in my life one time.
Wow.
39. I was walking around the clock. I had no social life. I had no relationship. My family saw me thrice a year. So I've been through all that. So I understand now the art of micromanagement. So if anything, it doesn't matter what you're offering me, it's infringing on what I'm doing at the moment, you either wait or you move on. So when I'm done with this 5 considerations, then the lalas must come.
The money. Was there any time you got tired of the bad boy of the industry?
Yes, after the 5th year.
Oh.
Yes, after the 5th year. It becomes the label and it gets past your intellectual capacity. You know, hardly are bad boys associated with anything intelligent and anything positive vibe. I walk into a room, there's a reaction instant. You know, people want to be like, okay, be careful with your chick or be careful what you say. Okay, it just doesn't make sense.
So I'm glad you mentioned the labor room. Back again to your Instagram.
This guy likes it. Are you married?
No.
Okay. When you're married, are you going to make the labor room or no?
I don't know. Honestly,
that's a very honest answer.
I cannot say.
You know, I had 121 DMs of people saying you called us out, you shouldn't have done that. But in the nicest way though. Like just because you made it or something doesn't mean I have to do it. I'm like, okay. Well,
you know, I've seen videos, and in my mind I'm like, I don't know.
It's nothing like the videos. Seeing it live, it will mess you up.
Well, you know, take us through that day. Take us through that day.
But that day when my friend, my partner started, I was alone. It was in Atlanta. We already structured like the date was gonna happen. We built it down to the last hour. Doctor was calling every other 2 or 3 hours. I stepped out to get some groceries. Walmart was just closed. I didn't work out for 2 days. I decided to run that day. So I was already at Walmart when I had this alert. Like whenever it happens, hit it. So I got it and I had to run back. When I came back, she was good to go. So I was driving, like as I was tearing out, the first person I met outside my gate, there was this gated community, was a cop. I just slowed down. The guy pointed at me and I just listened. My girlfriend is in labor. I gotta go. The guy said, okay, you know what, go. I was like, you know, we got there. The thing about it was that a day before then, there was this 6'4" guy, bodybuilder. I don't know if whatever other, but they said the guy was making noise about. Let me say it the way it was you know, showing himself anyhow. When the head popped out, the guy fainted. He passed out cold. He just moved. So she couldn't push because that's the thing. She couldn't push. She was now scared that the baby daddy was out. So they actually physically carried him into there's a bathroom. So they took him to the bathroom and put him in the bathtub. And they were trying to revive him. So they had 2 situations in their hands. So when I came in, they're like, okay, and I'm with my Nigerian accent and everything, like, hey, I'm staying here, I'm not going anywhere. They were like, no, just yesterday, some dude passed out in here. We can't have a repeat. I said, listen, I'm Nigerian, we've seen worse, let's go. And nothing's going to happen. They said, okay, suit him up. I wore my, the thingy. She started pushing halfway. there was a problem. I don't know the medical terms. They were going to perform a cesarean.
Okay.
Yeah, but before then, they had this thing they used to pull the baby out.
Okay.
So, but the lady, the matron, was a Ugandan.
Okay.
And she knows me. She's seen my movie. She was like, she was calling me Papa all through. Because like, Papa, you need to talk to her that the next option is either this or we'll cut her open. So I went under her and lifted. They told me to go under. So I went under and lifted on me. And I told them, like, yeah, like, baby, they're about to cut you up. Wow. You know how you are with your body. You're gonna have that scar. I had to scare her so bad. Like, you need to push our baby out. So she started pushing. The guy now told me to come back out again. I came back out. The white doctor was just confused, like, what is going on? So when she started pushing again, I stayed in the upper body and I kept saying, push, 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 push. You know, she had my shirt and I was saying, push, push. I don't know what got into me, bro. I shouldn't have done it. I should have done it, man. To this day, I still regret it.
Oh, wow.
No, I mean, it was good for me,
Okay.
but I shouldn't have done it.
Okay.
I went down to go. I was just wondering, what are they seeing? Because I was looking at their faces, they were varying expressions.
Okay.
The lady in the middle was like, oh, like that look of wonder. I wanted to see what it was.
going on.
So, dude, I went and looked.
Oh, wow.
And that messed up my whole life. I was like, I guess. So when it came out, you know, I was very engaging. For some reason, I think it was training. The actor in me took over. I shut down what I saw. My mental archives already recorded and stored, but somehow I shut it down and I was effective. He came out, they asked me to cut it. I wanted to cut the umbilical cord. So they gave me, I cut it. You know, he was acting up about crying. He wasn't crying. I gave him one.
Oh, you ready for that?
Yeah. I dashed him one hand. Man. The doctor was, you know, shaking. That's my baby, man. Guys started yelling all that. Yeah, a lion is a lion. What's all this murmuring for? Cry. Let people know you've arrived. You know, so we handed him back in to bathe him and all that. And I looked back again when they were pulling out. And then I just stood there transfixed. And then I think she knew what I was going through. Okay. So she came to turn me around, but I'd seen too much already.
Oh, so you could not move. You
I just focused on him being bathed and all that stuff. And when they were done, I went to the bathroom and threw up my dinner. I excavated all my dinner to the back. So I came back. I knew I would never be the same. They were telling me to go. You know, she was sleeping. I was with the baby. I mean, I could have gone home, waited, come back. I didn't want to leave. I just felt this is too much for one person to go through. I've been so ignorant. I have to be there. They were begging me. I said, listen, make a bed. I have to sleep with these people. I slept with them. And I was so hands-on. My son was so used to me. Apart from breastfeeding, it was basically me. He slept on my chest. I bathed him. I took him for walks, changed the nappies, fed him. He became so, I mean, as soon as it's done and he starts crying. He didn't sleep in his cot till he was about 4 or 5. Yeah, wow. Months. Wow. It was on my chest. I was getting an average of 2 hours sleep every day. I was cranky as heck, but I couldn't take it around there. Oh, okay. So every time I go out, somebody will say something to me, I get cranky. But you know, as soon as I'm coming home, I kick from my side quickly and start smiling because baby's sensitive, you know. Okay. Every time I'm cranky and I'm not acting real, he gets upset. Okay. But when also, it's another day, man. Wow. It's a whole different history. Trust me. Trust me.
So guys, if you have fathers watching this show,
don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it, man.
Let your wife deliver.
Don't do it. Here's the secret. Stay on the upper body. You're still in the room. Then come out and brag to your friends you saw it. Nah.
Okay. Thank you, Jim, for sharing that with us. Thank you. It's something I personally hope to experience. But I don't know, man. So how old is your boy now?
He's almost 3.
He's almost 3.
Yeah, he's 3 going to 20.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Of course. Yeah. Of course. Has he ever been to Nigeria?
No.
Why is that?
I intend to bring him when his understanding is in full circle. Okay. I need him to understand what he's seeing. Right now, he has a certain disconnect between what is going on here and what life is over there. Yeah, to him, I ask for this, I should get it. You know, he's not a brat, don't get me wrong. Trust me, I instill discipline. He gets like that around the women. When I'm around him, it's gangster to gangster. I know what you know. I'm teaching you, don't do that. Okay. So he behaved. They're even in shock when his grandmom's, she's like, why is he so well behaved around you? I'm like, well, your ways and my ways are not the same. Okay, so I wanted to bring when he's about 5. I want him to go into school. 1 or 2 boys go brush him, so he will understand what in life be. He go stand up for himself. Now he's playing football and karate, and he thinks he's a champion. They go, when they brush him, he's gonna be wait now.
So you want him to school?
Yeah. No, I want him 2-3 years. Yeah.
2 weeks. Okay.
Yes, I want to put him in mid-school before he goes back. You know, just let him get you something. Take him to certain slums and certain places. See kids trying to make ends meet on the street, so that he will understand how privileged he is and how lucky he is. Kids over there have no understanding of how the kind of beautiful life dealt them. They have no scope of that understanding. So I need him to wrap around, to make him kinder, stronger, and better for this world.